We're going to cover a lot of stuff. It's going to be a lot more technical than John's was. I want to invite you to ask questions as we're going along. If you need clarification on something that I'm saying, I am going to try to leave time at the end for questions, though admittedly we're starting a little bit late and I don't want to keep you from bowling. So we'll do questions as we go along unless it starts to drag things down too much, and then I may put you off a little. I'd be happy to talk with anybody afterwards if there's any piece of this you want more clarification on. Mary Pat mentioned I do a lot of education and examination work as well. That's not the point of this discussion, so don't bring up all your complaints about the exams you failed. But if you want to talk to me about that at the end, that's okay too. Okay, what we're going to try to get through today, what is ERM? It's a new area for the SOA, so I'm not sure how much all of you know about it. You probably all think I'm an actuary, I do risk management. That's probably true. ERM is a little bit more than that. Why do we need actuarial talent in the ERM arena? If you do want to go into ERM, what do you need? What's different about it from what you've gotten through your traditional actuarial training? As Mary Pat mentioned, we'll go through the CERA designation. Why did the SOA even create this designation? What were the goals of the society in putting this together? And then some of the details. What do you have to do if you want to become a CERA? A little more general on what some of the SOA ERM initiatives are, and I'm just going to touch on what's going on globally with ERM in the actuarial profession. Okay, let's start with a definition of what ERM is. This is a definition that was started, basically came from the Casualty Actuarial Society. The SOA looked at it, tweaked it a little bit, but we pretty much liked that definition. And the highlighted words are highlighted for a reason. So ERM, to start with, is a discipline, okay? It's not just sitting there saying, well, okay, let's do some ERM right now. There is a disciplined process to it, by which organizations in all industries, the all industries part is important. This is not something that's just insurance or even financial services like banks. It can be any industry. It's assessing, controlling, exploiting, financing, and monitoring risks from all sources. And again, those points are important. A lot of people think of risk and they say, how do I reduce my risk? How do I keep things safe? Well, we're often, our organizations are in the business of taking risk. We want to exploit risk. We want to see how we can use it for the purpose of increasing the organization's short and long-term value to its stakeholders. An important thing in the bottom, ERM is not a compliance activity. Compliance may be part of it. It may be a way of managing some of your risks, but it is not just following a cookbook recipe of, have I met this regulation and this one and this one. In general, why is risk important? We have a number of things going on. Look at what's going on in the investment world right now, the subprime crisis. Companies failing, people losing their homes. Couldn't that have been avoided with somebody not looking at the risk in what they were doing? Some prior things, the crises that have occurred in the Asian markets in the past, the ASNYs. So there's a lot of things going on. You can see that risk matters. If you don't care about it for that reason, most companies are rated by a rating agency, and that has become a major focus for them. So if you weren't on the bandwagon to start with, the rating agencies are going to be pushing you there. And then there are increasing regulatory initiatives. If you work for an insurance company, you're probably very familiar with SOX, the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. There's Basel II, Solvency II. A lot of these things are coming out of Europe. A lot of them relate to banks, but it's a whole general regulatory focus.